Right now at 10, 'tis the season for spooks and ghouls. We're heading to NEO A&M College for a special costume contest. Plus, we're going to make a stop at Roller City in Joplin for their special Halloween-themed party. Also, the G20 summit continues in Rome as world leaders work toward climate neutrality. And the latest after American Airlines cancels more than 1,000 flights nationwide.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good evening and happy Halloween to everybody. The 4 states are getting spooky and candy is spreading as far as the eye can see, which means, of course, many 4-staters are celebrating. So we're going to begin in Miami tonight, where over at NEO A&M College, the Mad Hatter's Tea Party and Costume Contest took center stage following the Sunday matinee performance. Now, for $5, folks could join Alice and the rest of the cast for tea, tarts, and other Wonderland-themed Halloween treats. And you didn't need an Alice in Wonderland costume to participate in the costume contest, but costumes that blended in with the fairy tale setting were a big hit.
For Halloween, Alice in Wonderland, it seemed like it would be a great way to bring in kids, to have them be part of something during Halloween where they might not normally have an opportunity. We weren't sure going into the season if there would be opportunities after COVID for Halloween events. And so we wanted to do something, we wanted to make sure that there was something available. And so it kind of inspired this concept.
The costume contest also featured some cool prizes, including a Groove Mini Bluetooth karaoke machine for one lucky winner. The 4-state kids got an early start on today's Halloween fun by heading over to Roller City Skate in Joplin. From 2 to 5 this afternoon, costume kids could enjoy roller skating, laser tag, and fun on the indoor playground. The event was popular with local kids because they were able to start celebrating the spooky holiday before the sun went down. And, of course, the most important part, get even more candy. And costumes definitely important to keep you a little bit warm tonight getting that candy. It's a bit chilly, Nick.
Yeah, but at the very least, it wasn't as cold as Saturday morning was. We had temperatures then starting out in the upper 30s. As far as this morning was concerned, we dropped to 42. But we actually made it to 61 degrees this afternoon because after we had some morning cloud cover pass on through, plenty of sunshine. So no wonder we made it back into the lower 60s for today. However, even though at the surface we got a northeasterly breeze at the surface, we actually have a next upper level wave. Wanted to bring cloud cover and some of these rain chances our way. There is snow up in Nebraska with this next wave, but I don't see it making it here. For the time being, though, we're dry, cool for sure, most of us in the mid to upper 40s. Ahead of that next upper level wave, Chris, we'll see cloud cover pick up overnight. Won't prevent us from dropping back to 39 though, and we'll be quite a bit chillier tomorrow with highs near 50 and rain chances certainly picking up as we head into the afternoon. We'll see how long these rain chances will stick in the forecast coming up in a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. Well, at their summit in Rome, G20 leaders reached a compromise to achieve climate neutrality or net zero emissions in the next few decades, but they did not set a year. President Biden also announced efforts to fix the supply chain bottleneck that's slowing the flow of many goods. CBS News correspondent Tom Hansen reports from New York.
On the summit's final day, G20 leaders tossed coins into Rome's iconic Trevi Fountain, then got back to business.
What we've seen again here in Rome, what I think is the power of America showing up.
President Biden unveiled details of an agreement with the European Union to reduce Trump administration tariffs on steel and aluminum.
It ensures strong and competitive U.S. steel industry for decades to come and creates good-paying union jobs at home.
The president also called on world leaders to help ease supply chain problems, causing backlogs on everything from cars to computer chips.
I'm allocating additional funding to help American partners as well as the United States, cut port congestion by slashing red tape.
In its final communique, the G20 said it's committed to the Paris Agreement goals on curbing rising global temperatures.
Some of us are asking why we moved our goalpost from 2 degrees to 1.5 degrees. Why? Because science says so.
Britain's Prince Charles, a longtime environmental advocate, said action against climate change can't wait.
The planet's health today will dictate the health, happiness, and the economic prosperity of generations to come. Hence, our overwhelming responsibility to generations yet unborn.
President Biden and others meet in Scotland Monday for the UN Climate Change Conference. The president had hoped Democrats back home would have already reached an agreement on his $1.75 trillion climate and social spending plan. Tom Hansen, CBS News.
The United States and the European Union have set 2050 as their own deadline for reaching net zero emissions, while China, Russia, and Saudi Arabia are aiming for 2060. The leaders of those three countries didn't come to Rome for the summit. Or there's a reason White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki did not travel with the president to Europe. She's in quarantine for COVID-19. Psaki said she apparently caught coronavirus from one of her family members. Press secretary says she put herself in quarantine on Wednesday when she found out members of her household had COVID. On Sunday, she tested positive for the virus. In a statement, Psaki says her symptoms have been mild because she received the vaccine. Psaki last met with President Joe Biden on Tuesday, but she says she was outside wearing a mask and was more than 6 feet apart at the time. Under White House guidelines, Psaki will be able to return to work at the conclusion of a 10-day quarantine following a negative rapid test. A frustrating weekend for people traveling on American Airlines. The airline canceled 634 flights on Sunday. American has now canceled more than 1,500 flights since Friday as it deals with weather issues and staffing shortages. American Airlines COO David Seymour said the airline was proactively canceling flights in order to, quote, minimize inconvenience. He added that most passengers were being rebooked on flights departing the same day. Earlier this month, Southwest Airlines canceled more than 2,000 flights over a 4-day period because of weather and air traffic control issues. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Petty Officer 2nd Class Billy Graywolf served in the Navy and served 2 tours in Vietnam, his hometown, Carthage. We're proud to recognize Petty Officer 2nd Class Billy Graywolf, tonight's four-state hero. And remember, learn more about other heroes, or if you've got one of your own you'd like to nominate, you can do that anytime. All you need to do is head over to our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. Well, still ahead on the KOAM News at 10, boy, it's a ghostly night tonight. A look at the origins of Halloween.
It's the spookiest night of the year, and it started right here. I'm Ian Lee with what this cave has to do with Halloween.
Many have served.
Store in downtown Parsons.
Ireland has long been the land of fairies and fairy tales. It's also the home of Halloween. CBS's Ian Lee ventures deep into the countryside to find its origins.
There's something spooky hidden among these hills. Yes, it's green and lush, almost heavenly, but buried here is a portal to another world, another dimension. Some call it a gate to hell.
They christened it in one medieval text as Doris Ifrin na HÉireann. So Doris is Irish for door, Éireann is Ireland, and Ifrin is hell. So Ireland's door or entrance unto hell.
It's also the birthplace of Halloween, or as the Irish call it, Samhain.
And because Samhain is the night that borders summer and winter, that's the night traditionally when the borders between this world and the other world are completely open. So it's not a place you have to die in order to access.
So down we go into the bowels of the earth with steady feet and a brave heart. Wet slime covers the walls while mud greases the path.
Wow. Kind of has a sulfur-like smell down here too.
Maybe that's wishful thinking, but for thousands of years, legend has it this cave has been home to Ireland's fairy folk, but not of the Disney variety, and woe to anyone caught by one unprepared.
You're not supposed to be out on Samhain night, but if you do have to go out, they used to dress and disguise themselves as one of these beasts or demons or monsters so they wouldn't be recognized and they wouldn't be taken back down through the cave and into the other world.
And that's the reason we wear costumes on Halloween, a tradition brought to America by the Irish in the 19th century. And for Bill and Vicky from Colorado, you might say they're obsessed with the ancient holiday.
I'm the Queen of Darkness. I come to rain darkness on everyone.
What was it like going down into the depths of hell?
It felt like home. I'm just kidding.
For the Queen of Darkness, I can see why.
Exactly. No, it just reminded me a lot of Irish history.
And while the history now has an American spin with the trick-or-treating, jack-o'-lanterns, and of course the classic Halloween movies, the echoes of the past stay with us today.
Customs in the States, they've really helped to preserve and, if you like, spread and keep alive the idea of Halloween and of Samhain as well.
And if you find yourself traveling through this landscape past the gates of hell, remember one thing: bring a spare disguise. It can get pretty muddy. Ian Lee, CBS News in Uvnagat, Ireland.
Now, you may have noticed some of that video is a little spooky because it's a little condensed. We had a little ghoulish infestation in our video system, so you don't need to adjust your television set. What you do need to know, though, is Ireland is now trying to get this location and others added to the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Still ahead on the KOAM News at 10, we're going to take a look at the box office and how it fared this past weekend.
Thankfully, our weather graphics isn't quite so mercurial on this Halloween night. We have rain chances wanting to work in tomorrow. We'll break that down the rest of the forecast when we come back. We kept things pretty quiet for this Halloween night, but unfortunately Mother Nature wants to shake things up again as we kick off November tomorrow. And right on schedule, a brand new work week and school week for the kids. But the live shot, though, still looking quiet for now from Indigo Sky Casino and Resort outside of Seneca, Missouri. In fact, we've kept that view pretty quiet all day. After partly cloudy skies in the morning, we enjoyed a mostly sunny afternoon from that lens and mostly clear so far this evening. Unfortunately, though, rain chances and plenty cloud cover too. Back in action tomorrow through Wednesday. And that is going to lead to quite a cool stretch through the middle of the week. We're talking about temperatures topping out in the 40s for a good number of days. Thankfully, though, it doesn't stick like that all week long. We will be drying out and warming back up by the time we hit the upcoming weekend. In the short term, though, looking quiet outside from 7th and Range Line at 10:16 on the Sunday night. Still mostly clear outside, 46 degrees. A lightest of north breezes makes it feel just a little bit cooler. Makes it feel like 44 degrees with the humidity at 71%. Most of us are in the lower to mid 40s from Joplin north and east. Still some upper 40s, though, for the rest of the region. So cool no matter where you are, but even with cloud cover starting to pick back up from the west, we are set for a bit of a cold start in the morning as lows drop back into the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Nothing immediately happening up the surface in our immediate region. You can see, though, how the wind arrows show a northeast breeze. That's going to aid in a bit of a cold start for our Monday morning. At the surface, though, nothing threatening really working our way. We're just on the backside of the cold front that worked on through this morning, setting the stage for a cool week to start things off. But upstairs is what I'm keeping an eye on as well. Our first upper level wave producing some rain and snow in southern Nebraska. Some of that action will head our way. The rain, for you snow lovers, unfortunately I don't see any snow on the way in for Monday, but I am watching a few more upper waves out west in the Pacific that'll quickly race toward us as we hit the middle of the week. So quite a few things to track. First, though, we're only going to be tracking increasing clouds throughout the course of the night and to get your morning drive started. Despite the cloud cover, though, you'll see how we start out kind of cold in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. I think we're dry during the morning, but that first wave up north working in as we go into the afternoon, that's going to lead to some scattered showers picking up, and that will make a difference in our temperatures. Unlike the lower 60s that some of us saw today, we'll start at 39 in the morning, 45 by noon, and if we're lucky, we can get afternoon highs to about 50 degrees. So about a 10-degree drop on the average across the entire region. We'll start with scattered showers for Monday evening, maybe a bit of a lull in the action to start Tuesday out. Then another wave comes in, keeping cloudy skies in place for Tuesday, highs in the upper 40s, and additional rain chances too as this wave kicks out of the Rockies and works into the Central Plains for Wednesday. That keeps us socked into the clouds for sure with our best shot for rain on Wednesday, but you can see how fast this clears out as we go into Thursday. So with the rain chances setting us up through the middle of the week, not looking at a big washout for now, which is a good thing, but still a 1/4 inch to 3/4 inch, certainly on the table with these rain chances lining up. Let's go 50 on your Monday afternoon, 48 Tuesday, 47 on Wednesday. That is it for afternoon highs with all the clouds and the rain on the way. But we'll go back into the lower to middle 50s Thursday and Friday, Chris, but we got to watch Thursday and Friday morning. Lows around 33, 34. That could be our first frost for the season and maybe a bit of a light freeze for a few spots.
Certainly want to get those plants ready if you've got any outdoor plants.
Absolutely.
Nick, thank you so much. Danny joining us now with sports. Pittsburgh State was at home on Saturday hosting Central Oklahoma.
The Gorillas picked up their 3rd straight win. We'll take a look back on the game and hear from the team coming up. Plus, Coffeyville and Independence meet in the final game of the regular season with the conference championship on the line. Those highlights and a lot more next.
Nick Kelly.
This is the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. Two teams ranked in the top 15 in the country hit the field today. Independence and Coffeyville meet in their final game of the regular season. Independence enters the day a perfect 7-0, while Coffeyville has one loss, coming last week from ranked Garden City. Opening drive, Coffeyville faced with 4th and 7. Jackson Thompson finds Chris Bellamy. He takes off 36-yard touchdown connection. Red Ravens lead 7-0 early. In the second quarter, Dorian Lewis takes the handoff, gets to the outside. He's in for the score. Coffeyville leads 17-3 at half. Following a great punt, Indy pinned on their goal line. Snap flies right by, rolls out of bounds. That is a safety. Coffeyville hangs on to win 19-9, and the Red Ravens are conference champs. The Pittsburgh State Gorillas grabbed their third win in a row on Saturday, getting by Central Oklahoma 26-20 to improve to 7-2 on the season. The Gorillas took a 23-7 lead into the half. That's enough to get the win despite UCO's strong attempts at a comeback. Tyler Adkins ran for over 100 yards, while Jalen Martin tallied 102 yards through the air. The defense complemented that nicely, limiting UCO to just 8 first downs in the game. The Gorillas suffocated the Broncos on the ground, holding them to 23 net rushing yards. It's a huge game for PSU next week. They remain at home hosting Washburn.
This is a football team that a guy like Caden Roy hasn't beat yet since he's been here. They're going to test your attention to detail and your discipline, and it's going to take everything we got, and we got to get better this week for sure.
And if we play guerrilla football, we'll do what we need to do. We're gonna be successful. I believe in that.
Simply, we just need to execute. Play our own brand of football. Just be ourselves. Don't do nothing extra that we haven't, all season, and trust in one another and be confident and just keep the positive energy on the sideline within ourselves. And it's gonna be us against everybody at the end of the day.
Missouri Southern moves to 3-6 on the season after falling to Missouri Western 45-28 on Saturday. The Lions were slow to start both halves of the game, while the Griffins scored on their first possession in the first and third quarters. Missouri Southern drove the ball well. Dawson Hurl threw for 307 yards. Brian Boyd Jr. picked up 176 yards on just 5 receptions. But in the red zone, Missouri Southern struggled to deliver touchdowns, and it made the difference on Saturday. Looking ahead, the Lions have 2 more opportunities left this season, starting with Northwest at home next week.
If you think for 1 second they're going to come in here and just go, okay, it's just Missouri Southern, you're crazy. They are fighting for something bigger, and for us, we're fighting to finish. That we've talked about this all the time, and that part of building something is putting some things in the ground, and I'd love to get 1 win, 2 wins to finish this thing out so that the seniors know they got to go in the right direction and the freshmen have some things to look forward to.
That brings us to our one and only break in the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. Still ahead, we'll hear from Sooners head coach Lincoln Riley following the team's huge win over Texas Tech.
Winter.com.
Welcome back to the Toyota Sunday Night Sports Feed. The Oklahoma Sooners have battled through a handful of slow starts and early deficits to remain 8-0 and 4th in the country, but on Saturday things clicked for the Sooners as they stomped Texas Tech 52-21. Caleb Williams threw for 402 yards and 6 touchdowns, 3 of those coming in a big second quarter that gave the Sooners a 28-7 lead going into half. Marvin Mims and Mario Williams both had 100-yard days and combined for 3 touchdowns. The Sooners' defense forced 3 turnovers. Here's head coach Lincoln Riley on his quarterback's performance.
I thought he had a really clear mind the entire way, and obviously settled in there quickly. Did a really nice job of things inside the pocket, and obviously made some key plays out of it. And I thought his patience was good. I thought we operated a little bit more efficiently with him in, which was a big goal.
The Kansas City Chiefs are at home this week for a primetime matchup against the New York Giants on Monday night. The Chiefs are coming off a 27-3 road loss to the Tennessee Titans last week. They are 3-4 and 4th in the AFC West. It's been a frustrating season so far, and things escalated on Friday when Chiefs safety Tyrann Mathieu called the fan base toxic on Twitter. Here's Mathieu addressing the situation.
You know, I haven't had the season I've wanted to have. I think as a team, you know, we could say the same. You know, frustration tends to build up. I shouldn't have used those choices of words. I think I'm man enough to admit that and really own that. And so just looking forward to, you know, obviously, you know, playing better, doing better. And I think most importantly, not being a distraction, you know, to my team.
We're back right after this.
Coming, let's go places.
It's a question on everyone's mind. Which movie collected the most treats at the Halloween weekend box office? Well, David Daniel has early estimates for the top 5 films.
This is about me wanting to live without you.
Venom: Let There Be Carnage took 5th place, scaring up $5.8 million for a domestic total of $190 million. The Japanese animated adventure My Hero Academia: World Heroes Mission opened in 4th place with $6.4 million. No Time to Die stayed in 3rd place, earning $7.8 million to reach $133 million domestic.
There's nothing inside that man but pure evil.
Halloween Kills held on to 2nd place, taking in $8.5 million. It's at $86 million domestic.
But I want you to die with honor.
Dune dug in and kept the crown in its sophomore weekend, making $15.5 million for a 10-day total of $69 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Something not too spooky, the rest of our forecast, but there's some rain.
Yeah, that's probably the spookiest, if you want to call it that, it could possibly get. But for those that need the rain, we'll pick up on those chances starting tomorrow afternoon. Before they can get going, though, we'll have highs around 50. Rain chances, pretty good bet for Tuesday and Wednesday as well.
Nick, thank you. Danny, final check in sports.
Big win for Coffeyville. They take down Independence to win the Kansas Jayhawk Conference title.
Big congratulations to them. Guys, thank you so much. That is our time for now. Remember, we're always on at KOAMNewsNow.com and with that KOAM News Now app. And we'll see you back here next weekend. Thanks for making us part of your night.
Service is provided by the Wild Side.